It's in this regard that Paul is using this idea. So when he says your flesh, he means your sin nature. Now, the sin nature refers to that aspect or element of unredeemed man's immaterial constitution that is corrupted due to sin. It desires to live according to that corruption and manifests itself in both internal and external acts or deeds of sin and transgression. The flesh is the old man. Now, as a Christian, your sin nature has been eradicated at salvation. You no longer have an old man. He's gone. The fallout of his existence, however, remains and will remain until your glorification. Amen. Now follow me here. When you were unsaved, your old man or your sin nature controlled you. When you got saved, your old man was killed. He was crucified with Christ on the cross. Yeah. Last time I checked, crucifixion is to kill. It's not to maim, it's not to make weak, it's to kill it. So your old man is dead, gone, no longer existing. However, because he used to exist, there are still fallout ramifications of his past existence. Yeah. And what the fallout is what the Bible refers to as the principle of sin. Follow me here. The old man, the old self, as I said, was crucified. Paul tells us that in Romans chapter 6, verse 1 through 7, and Galatians chapter 2, verse 20. That results in the fact that the believer has been freed from the tyranny and mastery exercised by the sin nature through the corrupted physical body. Your sin nature used to control you. It used to dominate. You could not resist sin. Whenever sin called, you answered the doorbell. The Christian's ongoing fight with sin after conversion and the manifestation of sin in his life is the result of the principle of sin, the remnant of the vanquished old man that is still at work in the physical body, the members of that body, or the flesh. We see that in Romans chapter 6, verses 12 through 14, Romans chapter 7, verses 21 through 23. The physical body is still corrupted and desires fulfillment of that corruption, which it can no longer expect since the old man has been crucified. So you walk around in your daily experience, and your physical body and the members of your physical body want sin. There's no way to stop that from happening. Hear me out. Wherever you go, your physical body is going to want sin. And you can't stop it from wanting it. The only thing you can do is not satisfy the want. You don't have to obey the thirst, but you're going to have the thirst. That's the nature of post-salvation man. Your physical body has within it a principle of sin that is still at work, and that principle of sin within your physical body is seeking to have sin to gratify itself. Your inner man is to fight the outer man and fight the principle of sin so that you don't satisfy the desires you want. All right? I hope you're following me. Although the constitutional elements of the flesh have been destroyed, the systemic element of the flesh, the principle of sin which drove the old man, is still part of our existence. That being the case, sin is still a possibility for the believer, but in a reduced sense. Paul indicated that only the future redemption of the physical body will break the control that the principle of sin has on the believer. And keep your finger here. Look at Romans 8 just a moment. Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. Verses 23 through 25. Look what he says. And not only this, but also we ourselves having the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting eagerly for our adoption as sons, the redemption of our body. For in hope we have been saved, but hope that is seen is not hope. For why does one also hope for what he sees? But if we hope for what we do not see, we persevere, we wait, with perseverance we wait eagerly for it. What Paul is saying here is that we have been redeemed on the inside, we're not redeemed on the outside yet. We're waiting for our future redemption of our bodies. Only then will sin no longer be able to affect us at all. Amen. So what's Paul's warning to the Galatians? His warning is very simple. Don't allow the freedom that defines the Christian life to be used by the systemic element of the flesh, the principle of sin, to be a jumping off point for sin.